Hello! Stephen Thompson is one of the most elusive strikers in mixed martial arts. You can barely touch the guy, his sense of angles, his unpredictability, the way he can swap between three stances, whether it be orthodox, southpaw, or horse riding stance even, which he does so, transitioning quickly between all of it. It's as Darren Till had said.
He is a phenomenal striker. I've never fought a striker like that to figure him out because I couldn't.
It's very difficult to figure this guy out. Where Darren Till had trouble, Jorge Masvidal had even more, which makes sense due to the stylistic matchup. Most of us who'd follow this sport, they knew this would be very rough for Anthony, despite he himself having a very high pedigree in striking himself. The bout basically turned out the way most people thought it would, for the most part. Stephen was winning, working Anthony like a phantom. It was very one-sided. Now, when you understand the style Pettis was using to deal with Thompson, Anthony was coming forward in a very similar fashion to how Bazooka Joe was versus Raymond Daniels. Beautiful flashy kicks, they typically need space, thus someone who applies pressure coming forward, they can often stifle that game. They innately mitigate the space needed to be effective. Keep a tight guard and aim low, remove the foundation needed to be nimble, be balanced, to quickly move and kick. As Joe chopped at the legs and body, Raymond looked very good at the start, but as the fight progressed, it became harder and harder for him to retain the foundation he needed to execute his beautiful kicks. Just standing in and of itself had become a chore. Naturally, as Bazooka Joe methodically eliminated Raymond's game, he won that fight. Here's the thing though, Anthony Pettis is not Bazooka Joe, and Stephen Thompson is not Raymond Daniels. They both look great moving backwards, but when you start wilting under pressure, that is when things get really dangerous versing Raymond Daniels. That's when his kicks really start to open up. Versing Stephen Thompson though, his best work is often seen off his back foot, sliding into angles, pulling shots. Stephen's cold ability to counter or move into a superior line of attack makes him look almost superhuman. But things are a bit different the moment you stop chasing him. Stephen doesn't hit hard, he hits efficient and awkward. His kicks could be comparable to a textbook boxing punch. Everything is a very tight economy of motion, mitigating telegraph, thus, as you move into the space he's sliding out of, the moment you walk into it or your central line is in position to retaliate, he just touches you with something light. That moment you don't see it coming is when it shuts you off, but that's just it. It isn't devastating power. He catches you when you aren't looking because his setups have you looking in another direction. Thus, the moment Anthony was broken onto the back foot, this is where everything had changed. He likely felt he could not chase Wonderboy anymore. It wasn't working very well, the damage was adding up. He was playing a game that was finding little success anywhere. Thus now, on the back foot, a beast trapped against the cage. He waited for his timing. He saw the sidekick and counterintuitively chose to eat it. Why? Even though he had already taken quite a bit of damage, what happens when you jump onto a trampoline? A part of that energy is sent back to you, and if you choose to work with that energy, you can recycle it by pairing it with your own, which in turn helps you jump higher and higher. Sent back against the cage. That sidekick's momentum, as he unloaded it, the cage caved. But as it did, like that trampoline, it was preparing to send energy back into him. That is where Showtime Pettis timed his Superman hook. Massive telegraph. Stephen Thompson's instincts naturally reacted to this looping shot a mile away. You can see how he instinctively pulls his head, but the question now is, why did it still catch him then? Even though Stephen does typically have a phantom-like ability to pull and leave the space of shots, his instincts did not account for the distance Pettis had traveled. It was the energy, harnessed, springing off the cage, often lowering his hands as a counterbalance to pull shots. This works very well for Stephen Thompson. He barely ever gets hit, but that surprise oomph propelling Showtime off the cage completely caught Wonderboy off guard. Thus, when you pair all that momentum with the fact Stephen Thompson did not expect the shot to hit him, it starts to make a little more sense as to how, after 80 fights, this is the first time Wonderboy's lights have ever gone out.
But I'm okay. Everything's good. It happens, especially when you're in the sport long enough.
Almost everyone counted Pettis out. But this goes to show, even if life puts you as the underdog, you miss all the shots you do not take. So as long as you do not count yourself out, you always have a chance. No matter how big the obstacle is, you always have a chance. Thus, let this be a lesson. When timing meets opportunity, even a slim thread can become the rope you needed all along. Let this be a philosophy not just for the arena, but life in its entirety. Thank you, Showtime Pettis and Wonderboy, for this lesson. If you like more from me, please subscribe and hit the notifications. Thank you if you did. Smash the like button if you enjoyed. It's good karma. And until next time, peace.